Hello everyone, welcome to your channel Data Science Studio, and today we are going to start with day 12 of Essential Python Programming for Data Science. And today we are going to start with a new topic which is NumPy, and NumPy stands for Numerical Python. So let's get started. So NumPy is one of the most important package when we talk about scientific computing in Python, and it is a base for many Python packages. And NumPy library is used for working with arrays, and we call it as n-dimensional arrays, and all items are homogeneous in nature. By homogeneous, I mean that they are of the same data type. Either they can be integer or float or complex. And many machine learning algorithms use NumPy features. For example, we have scikit-learn, we have TensorFlow, and we have SciPy packages. So all these machine learning algorithms use packages or the NumPy features. And NumPy is very efficient than Python list in terms of the mathematical operation. NumPy is open source and it is used extensively in data mining and predictive analytics projects. Now, before going into deep into what is NumPy, we have to have a basic understanding about what is vectors and matrices. So what is a matrix? So a matrix is a group of numbers arranged in a rectangular format. So if we have a matrix like this, so this is a 2 by 2 matrix, which means it has 2 rows and 2 columns. So matrix is a group of numbers arranged in a rectangular array format, which is array is nothing but a sequence. And in a n by n matrix, so n by m matrix, n is the number of rows and m is the number of columns. Now there are some other types of matrices also. We call it as a zero matrix or identity matrix. So when we talk about zero matrix, so zero matrix is something like this, where all elements are 0. So this is a zero matrix. And when we talk about identity matrix, the diagonal of all the values is, it's not this, so the diagonal of all the values will be 1 0 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. So diagonal will be always 1. So this is called as identity matrix. So when we are doing a series on basic mathematics for data science, we'll be covering this in more detail. But NumPy uses the concept of matrix, and a matrix is a group of numbers arranged in a rectangular array format. And we have discussed what is zero matrix. We have also discussed what is identity matrix. So this is zero matrix. Now we'll talk about a vector. So what is a vector? So vector is a matrix which has only one row or one column, but it has more than one item. So for example, if we have something like this 0 1 2 3 4, so this is also a vector. And if I do like this 0 1 2 3 4, so this is also a vector. So vector is a matrix, so it can be 1 by m or it can be n by 1, means it can have more than one rows or it can have more than one columns. So this is called a vector. So now let's get into deep dive of some of the functionalities of NumPy by doing some coding. So let's get started. Now when we talk about NumPy, first of all what you have to do is you have to install the NumPy. So you can install the NumPy using the pip install NumPy method. You can do it in the Jupyter notebook itself, or you can do it in the Anaconda prompt using the command of conda install numpy. After you have installed the numpy, you have to import it. So you can import numpy as np, which is numerical Python, and np is a object of a class which is of type numpy. So if you have to access any methods inside numpy, you can access it with the np object. Now, if you have to create a numpy array, you can use the inbuilt method which is called as array, and you can pass a list over here. Now, a numpy, there are various attributes when you are creating a numpy array. It can be a one-dimensional array, it can be a single value, it can be two-dimensional array, it can be three-dimensional, or it can be n-dimensional. So let's say we print this value. So let's run this. So here we can see that the type is a numpy nd array, and this is your nd array. It looks like a list which we have already seen, but it is a numpy array, or the class is numpy array. Now there are some other functionalities of numpy array. The first is called as the shape method. So this method actually returns a tuple which shows the dimensions of the array, which means how many rows are present, how many columns are present, and then we have another functionality which is size. So size tells the total number of elements present in an array, or total number of items present in an array. And then you have number of dimensions. So number of dimensions tells what is the dimension of an array, whether it is a 1D array or 2D array or 3D array. Most of the time we work with 2D array, which is a matrix. And then D type actually tells what is the data type of an array. So here let's say that I have an array and I am checking the, if you want to check the dimension of an array, you can use the ndim method. So here it says the dimension is 1, which means a single list is a one-dimensional array. Now if you have to create a two-dimensional array, you have to pass a list of list. By list of list I mean so you have a list like this. Within a list you are passing another list. So when you are passing a list within a list, it becomes a two-dimensional array like this. So here you can see that this is a two-dimensional array. It is actually a matrix. The size is 2 by 4, which means it has 2 rows and 4 columns. And the dimension of array is 2, which means it is a two-dimensional array, and the D type is integer 32. So there are different types of D types like integer 32, integer 64, and it is basically the how big the value a numpy can store in a single item. Now if you have to create a three-dimensional array, so as the number of dimension increases, the complexity to visualize also increases. So if you want to create a three-dimensional array, you have to pass a list of two-dimensional array. So it goes on like this. So if you have to create a two-dimensional array, it will be a list of list, and if you have to create a three-dimensional array, then it will be a list of two-dimensional array. So we have created a list of two-dimensional array, and it will look like this. So this is a three-dimensional array where the dimension of array is 3. And while creating an array, you can also specify the data type. For example, I want to convert this all the two-dimensional array into a float. So I can pass the D type as float. So here you can see that this point shows that it is a float data type. You can also use the as type method, but when you are using the as type method, you have to create a new numpy array. You cannot change in the existing array. You can only, while creating array only, you can pass the data type. But if you want to change the data type after an array has been created, you have to store it in a new variable. So here I have stored it in a new variable, and if I see the data type, it is converted into float. Next method is called as arrange, which we have used previously also. So NumPy can be created using arrange method also. So if I have to create a one dimensional array, I can just pass a np.arrange of 10. This method is similar to range method in list. So here you can see that it has created a one dimensional array. Now next topic which is important is how you can select an elements in an array. So here I have a two dimensional array and I am printing certain values. So if I am printing x, it will print the complete array, and if I am printing x of 1 comma 2, which means it is first row and second index. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So this is the first row and second index, which is 70. Now if I do something like this, print x of 1 comma 1 colon, so which means it will print first row and all the columns from the first index. So it will be first row and all the columns from the 60. So it will print 60 to 80. And you can play around with this colon and slicing and indexing, but the first variable signifies a row and second variable value signifies a column. And start, stop, step we have also seen in list as well, and here also that concept applies. So for example, if I create a one dimensional array and if I do x of 2:8:2, which means that print all the elements between 2 to 8 and skip every alternate element. So it will give all the even values between 2 and 8. And what does this says? Print x of colon colon minus 1, and this also we have seen in our previous lectures. So colon colon means start from the beginning, go till end, but start in the reverse direction. So minus 1 means indexing from the last. So it will start from last and it will go backwards and it will print the NumPy array in a reverse order. Next method is called as a reshape. So the reshape method actually takes a tuple and changes the shape of an array. So if I use the arrange method will give a one dimensional array and I can reshape into 5,6 two-dimensional array. So let's print this. So here 5,6 means 5 rows and 6 columns, but make sure the number which you are passing in the arrange should be equal to the multiplication of the tuple which you are passing in the reshape, because it is reshaping in the same amount of elements. So 5 into 6 will be 30 and we are printing the value of x, and if you have to access the elements, again same ways, I am accessing the first row and 2 to 4 columns. So it will give me 8, 9. And in the second value, I am accessing 0 to 2 rows and from second column till end. So if it is 2 column, it is starting from second column till end, and if it is column 5, it is means that starting from the beginning go up till 5 columns. So like this also you can index. Now there are some other methods which is called as ravel, flatten. So what is the ravel method? So the ravel method converts actually a multi-dimensional array into one-dimensional array. So we have seen reshape method can actually convert your one-dimensional array into two-dimensional or three-dimensional. Similarly, if you want to convert a two-dimensional or three-dimensional array into one-dimensional, you can use the ravel method, and same can be used by flatten also. So both methods are similar, but it is different in the way it operates. For example, ravel method creates a view in the sense that if you are making any changes in the array, it will be reflected in the parent array. But the flatten method actually creates a copy of an array. So if I convert this 2D array into 1D array using ravel and flatten, you can see the output is same. So it converts a 2D array into 1D array. So it converts a multi-dimensional array into one-dimensional array. So most of the time we go with flatten because we want to create the copy of an array, not the view. Another important method which we use is transpose. So the transpose actually flips the rows into columns and columns into rows. So here we are using the NumPy array and I am transposing it. So this 2D array will be actually transposed, rows will be transposed into columns and columns will be transposed into rows. So this is about the transpose method. Another important method is stacking. So when you have multiple arrays and you have to stack it across rows or columns, then we can use it stacking. Stacking is similar to concatenation also, which we'll see in which we'll see shortly as well in our future lectures. So there are different kinds of stacks. One is H stack. So it stacks column wise. V stack actually does it row wise, and there is also called as D stack. So it is also called as depth wise stacking and stack arrays in sequence along the third axis. So we'll see how it works. So I have a 2-dimensional array and the H stack stacks actually column. So I am concatenating the same array. So here this is the first array and this is the second array. So it stacked at a column level. This is called as column level stacking. If you want to do a row level stacking, you have to do the V stack. So this is done this is first array and this is your second array. So this is vertical stacking. So sometimes we go for, when we are going for concatenation of your values, then based on the requirement we go for V stack or we go for H stack. And last is called as D stack. So D stack is basically used when you want to create when you want to have a depth wise stacking along the third axis, which is like 3-dimensional array. So it converts a 2D array into a kind of 3D array and it will combine the items index wise. So for example, we have two arrays. This is the first array and this is the second array. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 will be combined into one array, which is the depth wise stacking. So depth wise stacking is used in image processing, and we will see in our deep learning lectures how we can use D stack. But most of the times we go with H stack or V stack, or we have other options of concatenation. So I think today we have seen some of the basic functionality of NumPy array, and we will have couple of more lectures on NumPy because it is a very important topic. And we are also going to start with a new topic of statistics, because in NumPy some of the statistics or the SciPy which is scientific Python libraries are used. So it is important that we have a good understanding of statistics as well. So we are going to start a new playlist for statistics. So please like, subscribe and comment your channel, provide your valuable feedback, and stay tuned, stay connected. Thank you.